Yeah, Black Sun in the Hizzle, all for shizzle. We got an excellent show here today. So today is big day today. Today is when President Trump calls President Putin to discuss possible negotiations, possible into the war. Definitely going to do a prisoner swap. That's going down between Russia and Ukraine. However, Russia, being that they have the battlefield advantage, have not has not budged since 2022. They have not budged, and we're going to have Donald Trump call in behalf of, well, trying to end the war. But the thing is that now they say that it's actually a disadvantage for Donald Trump to talk to Putin directly because therefore Putin will tell Trump the truth about what happened during the Maidan Revolution, what happened during the Minsk Accords, what happened during the succession. All this is going to be told to Trump. So whether Trump knows this or not, it will be official from Putin's mouth to Trump's ear. Now, I after I did a video on Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly being that he's highly educated, has access to a lot of things, and I'm starting to wonder: does Trump have access to all the information? Or does he just have a whole bunch of people around him giving Trump the information they want to give him? Because they really don't want Trump talking to Vladimir Putin. And this is why, and I was supposed to do a show with Miss Rowland the other day discussing the uh, the attempted assassination. No, 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 no. We were supposed to discuss something, and she went off into a whole racism, race. I'm like, oh man, Miss Rowland, Miss Rowland. I don't do the woe is me. I don't do the pity party on neither side. I don't do that. So I don't know. Anywho, shout out to Miss Rowland. But yeah, we were supposed to discuss, and I was going to tie it into the whole assassination attempt. Um, but this is why they don't want Donald Trump talking to Vladimir Putin, is because Vladimir Putin, when he lays it out, when people are able to listen to Vladimir Putin's side of the story and just lay it out, and not only has Vladimir Putin been consistent, Sergei Lavrov been consistent, Dmitry Medvedev been consistent, but they have been consistent, and their demands have been consistent. And they have recently said, you either give us the 4 oblasts or we're going to take 8 oblasts. They no no no. Here's what was thing what I heard. Europeans was like they threatened to take the 4 oblasts and turn it into 6, and they're like, no, we didn't say 4 to 6. We said 4 to 8. So Trump has his hands full with this phone call, with the negotiation. He's going to call Putin first around 10 o'clock. Then he's going to call Zelensky in Europe. So Zelensky and NATO. Um, it's very interesting because of. Shall I really get into NATO doing the Fugazi business with was it Slovakia? Either Hungary or Slovakia is one of those countries that NATO sanctioned Putin to attack that country, another NATO country. So NATO is really crumbling at the seams. Fico, Fico went to Russia to talk. You know, not only did Fico go to the celebration of the Great Patriot Day, which is a celebration of World War II, defeat of Nazi Germany, but also Fico, he's been going. And NATO was trying to bully him into not going. And he's like, yo, I'm part of a sovereign country. So why are you telling me where I should and shouldn't go? So, anywho, now they're trying to some fugazi business with that particular country, which is a NATO country. So, yeah, NATO is falling at the seams as we speak. As I speak, do this video, NATO is falling apart. So, because if you attack your own, then what is the purpose of being part of NATO, and who are you protecting me from? Who am I aligning with? Because apparently it's not Russia that's attacking me, it's you guys. You guys sitting a non-NATO country to attack me. We're not gonna play these games. So yeah, not only is it Slovakia or Hungary? Y'all forgive me, but the country that Fico's prime minister of, other countries will begin to see this. And when other countries see this, they will begin to say, you know what, this is not cool. And we will see the unraveling of NATO in our time. I'm gonna call it, before Trump's presidency is up, we're gonna see the unraveling of NATO. We will see it. We will see the unraveling of NATO because they are causing their own demise. And this phone call today will be the icing on the cake, you guys, because Trump is, you guys got to understand, after Trump went through what he went through with the 99 indictments, was it 99 indictments? Y'all correct me in the chat if I'm wrong about the number of indictments, but it has given Trump a different perspective, a different outlook on just everything, on everything. It's given him a different outlook on everything, and he has, I want to say, a third pair of eyes now because of the malicious prosecution by Fannie Willis, Letitia James, Alvin Braggs, Jack Smith. And, you know, we're going to deal with all four of these people in due time. Well, Letitia James being dealt with. Here in Georgia, we're dealing with Fannie Willis, so I will give y'all special news as far as Fannie Willis is concerned. They are draining her pockets. The Senate is, they sent out a subpoena, and the judge said she has to honor the subpoena, so she needs to think quick before they consider locking her up. And George, I mean, is it, what's his name? Brian Kemp. Brian Kemp signed some reforms here in Georgia as far as like the prosecution, as far as subpoena powers, as far as like immunity for AGs. No, that's no longer the case. No more immunities for AGs just willy nilly. What's going on, Joker? What's going on? How's my mic, Joker? How's my mic? Let me get a quick mic check, Joker. Just a real quick one. Real quick mic check, Joker. So, no more. Oh, and also, Joker, guess what? If the prosecution that goes after you happens to lose, you can turn around and sue them. They used to have immunity. Brian Kemp, what's going on? What's going on? Brian Kemp did away with all that. He did all the way with that. So you can now sue the AG. You can sue the district attorneys here in Georgia, and you can sue them, and you can they're not immune to going to jail. Think about that. So yeah, Fannie Willis, the least that's going to happen to her, you guys, is that she ain't gonna have no money left. Every case that she's being sued, she's losing. She done lost. She done lost every case. She done lost against Ashley Merchant's firm. She done lost against was it Judicial Watch or some organization that sued for information. She's getting spanked left and right. So yeah, Fannie Willis is getting hers. You guys already know about Letitia James. I don't even have to talk about that. She's all on the news as far as like her marrying her putting down her father as her husband, her home in Virginia. I don't even need to tell y'all what the hell's going on with that because it's all over the news, all over the internet. Letitia James is backed up. Her back is against the wall. Her heels. She is like cooked, yo. She's cooked. So I mention that because now, when dealing with things, Donald Trump has a different perspective. He has a wholly different perspective. So especially when, if y'all don't remember, who could forget, during his first administration when Hillary Clinton accused Trump of Russia collusion. And so there's two victims in that. Not only Donald Trump, but Vladimir Putin. He's like, yo, not only Donald Trump was like, you're lying. Vladimir Putin was like, you're lying. Now, regardless how you feel about Vladimir Putin, this is not a Vladimir Putin. This is not a Vladimir Putin party. This is not that. Damn, they made it fair for once. Joker said, damn, they made it fair for once. Joker, you got to explain that. You got to explain that, Joker, because I think I know what you mean, but I want to make sure everybody's clear about what you're saying. I want your thoughts. I want to purvey your thoughts so we can build upon that about being fair. What I want to see, Joker, is what I'm gonna say. This, Joker, is what I think is going to happen is that Trump is going to take all his experience to be able to sue the AG. Right? Yeah, yeah. And like I said, here in Georgia, they have a possibility of going to jail too. So Brian Kemp, man, I know in the past, Joker, I have said some not so nice things about Brian Kemp. You know what? He's fair. I'm gonna just say that he's fair. Um, and I had called him a coward. I want to say he's fair. I want to take back saying he's a coward. He's fair. He's fair. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at Brian Kemp is fair. Um, and as y'all know, I called him a coward because he wasn't gonna run for Senate, and that's why Martin Taylor Greene is running for Senate. So that's why I was upset with Brian Kemp because in his fairness, I was like, you know what? I think he'll be all right as a dang senator, Georgia senator, and I would vote for him. But he didn't want to run, so I'm just like, come on, man. So Martin Taylor Greene is running, so I'm gonna vote for Martin Taylor Greene. Shout out to Martin Taylor Greene. That's my Native American sister. So yeah, Martin Taylor Greene's Native American, y'all. If you guys probably all have seen it, man. Blonde hair, blue eyed, Native Americans. Yeah, she's one of them. So if you look at her genotype, she has blonde hair, blue eyes, but yeah, she's Native American. A lot of people don't know that. I know that, but it is what it is. Um, Not that it matters. I mean, she's MAGA, but I just thought it was. Hold on, let me get to these comments. So Tim says I have to go to work. All right, man. Have a good day at work, man. Be safe, brother. And yeah, man, be part of the replay gang, man, because this is we gonna have a discussion about this phone call, which is supposed to happen within 3 hours. 3 hours, Trump is going to call Putin, and I suspect, you know, I suspect that Putin's not going to budge because you guys know as warriors in battle, especially you, Joker, hoorah 3%, that whatever land that we fight for, we keep. That is just the warrior code across the world. In every country, in every country, in every time period. This time period, no different. Russia has gained ground in Zaporozhye, Crimea. They've been at Crimea. Luhan's done, yes. Bakhmut. So yeah, they're not giving up none of those territories and threatened. And Russia said if we don't come to terms, that 4 will turn into 8. So Russia is not playing. But I think Trump knows that. I think that Steve Witkoff has went over there and he has met with Trump and he has made it very clear that Russia is not budging an inch, and they should, and they should. Um, Joker said, "What about NATO? I seen that the Russia are building more troops up. Yeah, because Joker, they're not doing a ceasefire. They're like, we can negotiate, but we're going to continue to fight." And they don't believe in ceasefire. Ceasefire is just something to temporarily halt so you can get more arms to Ukraine and help Ukraine out. No, Ukraine is losing and crumbling. So, oh, we want a ceasefire. No. Russia's like, no, 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 no. We're going back to the days of Alexandria. We are going to keep fighting and we're going to keep marching west until the war ends. It's like march. We're going to march until the war ends. We're going to keep marching until the war ends. We're going to gain more ground until the war ends. The only time we're going to stop this war is when the war ends. We're not going to do a temporary ceasefire. And what we look like? Ceasefire. Oh, we're going to do a temporary truce. And no, man. Russia has already been with that through the Minsk Accords twice. So they Minsk 1 and 2 Accords. So no. Are they going to for the EU next? No, no, they're not going for the EU. Now, the only way, Joker, they'll go for the EU if the EU attacks them. Let me say this again, Joker. If the EU attacks Russia, then Russia is going to steamroll the EU. However, this phone call today determines everything, because this phone call will determine, because remember, Trump is going to call Putin first, then he's going to call Zelensky and the EU or NATO, Zelensky and NATO. And based on this phone call, it's going to determine whether Trump wants to walk or not. Because Trump, I will say, Joker, he's been flippy floppy, because of this whole Russia collusion back in his first term. And so I suspect now, he already said this is Biden's war. It is Biden's war. However, Trump wants to put the narrative out there that Russia wants to take all of Ukraine. That Russia wants to take all of Ukraine. And what Trump is going to do is said, I stopped Russia from taking all of Ukraine. So Russia said during the meeting, look, you either give us these fair territories or we're going to take 8. So let you know they don't want all of Ukraine, but they want to get 4 more territories if they don't stop now. So Trump is going to tell Zelensky and the EU, take the deal now, just like he said in the White House, take the deal. You don't have no cards. Take the deal now before you lose all of Ukraine. And Trump is like, yo, I signed up earth minerals. I want whatever we can out of that. I thought they were supposed to meet somewhere. So this phone call, I guess, is going to set up the meeting because, wait. Hold on, Joker. Are you talking about Trump and Putin or Zelensky and Putin? Which one are you talking about? Which one are you talking about? Because your statement, I wanna see how you answer this first, and I'll answer it correctly. Both. Okay, so let's start with Putin and Zelensky. Putin never agreed to meet with Zelensky. That was Zelensky. He was coked up, and he said that. And NATO, that proves that NATO's coked up because, Joker, Trump doesn't do negotiations. That's what he has Steve Witkoff for. Putin doesn't do negotiation. That's what he have Dmitry, what's his name? That's what he has. Vladimir Medivka. That's what he have him for. They have delegation teams, and this is why I make the video about Bill O'Reilly, because Bill O'Reilly, I'm like, okay, he must not know this. And it was a period of time I didn't know this. I thought Putin goes in there and negotiates with Trump and negotiates with Zelensky. It doesn't work that way. They have delegation teams set for that. So the only time that Putin will meet with either Zelensky or Donald Trump is when things are finalized. Nothing's been finalized. The delegation team had met met last Friday. It was supposed to be last Thursday. It was held up because Zelensky in Istanbul, Turkey. So that's number one. Number two, to ask your second question, Trump is going to call. So that, I hope, did that answer your first question, Joker? Because I want to answer your second question now. Okay, I think Joker might be at work. So I hope that answers your first question. Trump is the fixer. Yeah, Trump is a fixer, but he's still not a negotiator. He still has a negotiating team to kind of, he still has to, Trump doesn't have time to, okay, so yeah, and yes, okay, so Joker understands. So to answer your second part of the question, so this is going to be the first phone call towards the negotiation with Trump and Vladimir Putin, because it comes down to Trump and Vladimir Putin. Zelensky, no, he's not going to be part of the negotiation, and neither is NATO. Trump is making himself the middleman. That's why he's going to call Putin first, and then he's going to call Zelensky. But they still have to go back and forth with the negotiations. But I think what happened was when, this is what I suspect, Joker, when they went to Istanbul, Steve Witkoff and Trump's team went over there to talk to the Russian delegation. So they went back and forth, and I think they came up with a solution, and this is why they might have came to an agreement without Ukraine and without the EU, and they came to an agreement, and then Trump and Putin are going to finalize it on the phone, and then they're going to finalize it again in the meeting. So they're going to have two finalizations. One to confirm on the phone, okay, this is what we agreed to. Okay, once they get the green light, Trump's going to let Zelensky and goddamn NATO know this is what it is. This is what it is, and then continue forward. So it's all up to Trump on NATO and Ukraine's end, because do you remember, Joker, when Zelensky signed away the rare earths deal? Do you remember that? Watch this. Watch this, Joker. Do you remember when Zelensky kept avoiding the rare earth deal, and Trump kept getting mad, and Zelensky finally signed it? Do you remember that? So when he signed away the rare earth deal, and I said this in another video, is that, here in the U.S., when you sign away something, you sign away all your ownership. And I say that jokingly, but y'all know, if y'all done did loans, bank loans, house mortgages, and car, y'all know if things go into default, if you ever dealt with a loan, gotten a loan, and I know y'all probably, because you guys are responsible, but if you guys, because I know you guys pay off y'all stuff, so I don't even, oh man, I just got a thing about Biden got cancer. Oh shoot. Holy shit, y'all, Biden got cancer? It just came across my thing just now. Okay, Joker said Zelensky needs to be removed, and yeah, I was wondering how that's going to work if Russia took Ukraine. Right. And this is why Joker, this is why that phone call is so important, because Trump is saying, yo, Ukraine is indebted to us now. And if Russia takes all of it, then Trump has none of that deal. So watch this. Trump is going to put out the narrative that Russia wants all of Ukraine. Wherever you heard that, Russia wants all of Ukraine. So as long as people believe that, because that's what people believe, and then Trump will say, if you look, I stopped Putin from taking all of Ukraine. He wanted all of Ukraine. Remember, he said that. Russia wants all of Ukraine. We know, Joker, do you know that Russia doesn't want all of Ukraine? But as long as people believe that, Trump looks good. So I'm all for the narrative to make Trump look good, anything to get Trump on Mount Rushmore. So I'll go along with that narrative. But between you and me, Joker, Russia doesn't want all of Ukraine. They don't even want that region that they took, because they just want to protect the people in that region because they speak Russian. But he wants them to be independent, just like Georgia, just like Chechnya, just like all the federations, Russian federations. They're independent. They just say Russian Federation because they're under the protection of Russia. But Russia don't want to feed them people, and so he don't want to feed Ukraine. However, he will protect Ukraine because those are Russian, and Putin is sworn to protect Russian-speaking people all over the world. It doesn't matter. If you are Russian and you speak Russian, he is sworn to protect you. That's in their Russian constitution. Joker says Ukraine never signed a border. Whoa, Joker, what'd you say? You say Ukraine never signed a border deal with Russia. What about the Minsk I and Minsk II Accords? What Minsk? Oh, you know what? You're right, because they only signed, it was a temporary ceasefire. That's why Russia's not doing no more ceasefire. I'm sorry, Joker. The Minsk I and Minsk II Accords was some type of temporary ceasefire, and Europe was so damn dumb they were admitting, yeah, we only want the ceasefire so we can make Ukraine stronger and pump weapons. That's why Russia ain't going for that shit no more. So, Trump is not going to be able to get Russia to do a ceasefire. It's either in the war. It's either in the only way they're gonna stop firing is that you get in the war with all their demands, meaning they want all four territories, demilitarize it, denazify it, and when I say all those territories, they got to recognize. You guys will hear it first, meaning they have to recognize the Republic of Luhansk, Donetsk, Crimea, Zaporozhye. These are all independent republics. You're hearing it first, and you're going to hear it when Russia, takes this thing. So, or when they finally sign off, when Trump finally signs off, because today in this phone call, Putin is going to give Donald Trump the whole lowdown. The whole lowdown. Now, I only say Donald Trump may not know this because Donald Trump still believes that we won the war in World War II, that we marched on Berlin, which is not true. The Russians marched on Berlin. Joker, I gotta ask you. You ever seen the movie Patton or read the book Patton? Have you ever seen Patton? I'm going somewhere with this, Joker. I'm gonna tell you why I'm bringing up Patton. And if you guys have not read the book or seen the movie, either read the book or see the movie. They're both the same. Read about Patton, and you will understand Donald Trump, and you will understand why I believe Trump doesn't know the real story, but he will know the real story today, and that will make a big change with that phone call. And this is why they don't want Trump knowing the phone call, because if you guys are familiar with Patton, George Patton in World War II, the general, allegedly Patton was racing Russia to take Berlin. Well, if you know the story, Russia beats Patton. I forgot the general's name, the Russian general that marched on Berlin, and they say he's one of the top 5 generals in our history. Real good general. I need to. I'm gonna start looking him up, and I'm gonna start reading some books on that general. But him and Patton were basically racing. And at the end of, if you watch the end of the movie, Patton confronts this general and he's like, I don't like you. You're a son of a bitch. And then the general says, well, you're a son of a bitch. And Pat's like, well, I'll drink to that. And they both start drinking. That general right there, I got to get his name, but that general, that Russian, that Soviet general was considered one of the top 5 generals of all time. So I say that to say this. Patton, that movie exposed, it kind of lied and it kind of told the half truth, but the Russians been took Berlin by the time Patton got there. Patton got there like weeks later. Russia been took damn Berlin, but apparently you can see it on Patton's face that he was disappointed, he was mad, he was disgusted. He's like, man, damn these Russians. Because for him, he wanted to conquer and take, he wanted to conquer Berlin. He wanted to march on Berlin, plant the flag first, but the Russians plant their flag first, and so Patton was mad about that. And the ghost of Patton haunts Donald Trump. Donald Trump, and there's some other people that it haunts because Patton, they wanted Patton, they really wanted Patton to take Berlin before the Russians did. And deep down inside, being that, yeah, Trump is a true patriot. And I'm not saying now, shout out to my patriots, but I'm for truth first. I'm a patriot, but I'm for truth first, then I'm a patriot. Meaning that I call it like it is. That Russia took Berlin first. That's just the truth of the matter. Okay, so Joker said wants to stop the killing. Russia just wants to protect the Russian people, and Ukraine wants to be to be NATO. Russian just wants to go back to the agreement after World War II. That's a fact. That's a fact. But the thing is that right when the Soviet Union fell, Joker, we said that NATO, that Ukraine being part of NATO is a red line. We said that. We said that, and we agreed to that under Gorbachev, under the Reagan administration. We said that NATO, that Ukraine joining NATO is a red line. That will start World War III. We knew that back then. But I guess we've been smoking so much weed here in America that we forgot. That we forgot. All the fentanyl and damn cocaine and weed. We done forgot that we had said Ukraine will never be part of NATO because that is a red line. That is right in Russia's backyard. We agreed to that. So what kind of weed were we smoking that we forgot about that? So everything that you said, I agree with, but that's a no-go on that goddamn Ukraine being part of NATO. Hell no. So no, Russia's not budging on that. They're not budging on Ukraine being part of NATO. They're not giving up the 4 territories, Zaporozhye, Luhansk, Donetsk, Crimea, Bakhmut. They're not giving up none of that. And then they said demilitarization, so no NATO troops on their border. Now, you might have a private security that Trump might agree with. I don't know how that's going to work, Joker, but as far as like the demands, they want to keep all the territories, no NATO membership for Ukraine, the demilitarization and denazification. That's it. When I say denazification, no more celebrating banderas, which they currently celebrate in Ukraine, Nazi collaborator, part of the Third Reich. Russia don't want that. So, Russia don't want that. So no, Russia's going to stand their ground. Trump's going to get that. Everything I'm telling y'all is what Putin is going to tell Trump. So let me ask you guys, let me ask you, Joker, is Trump going to budge, or is he just going to tell Ukraine and NATO it is what it is? You let me know. Is he going to tell NATO and Ukraine it is what it is, or is he going to try to get Putin to budge? Because I'm going to tell you right now, Putin ain't budging. Putin ain't budging at all. But let me get your take, Joker. Let me get your take. How do you think that phone call is going to go? Because remember, he's going to call Putin first, then he's going to call Ukraine and Zelensky. So by the order of the phone call lets me know who's going to have the upper hand. He wants to hear Putin's story side first, and then he's going to let Ukraine and NATO what time it is. Ain't no budging happening, man. Ain't no budging, because already Russia is saying you either let us take these 4 territories. I hope he tells NATO, but I don't know for sure. So what do you think? Okay, well, Joker, what do you think the possibility is that he gets Putin to budge? Because they've been consistent for 4 years. They've been consistent, saying the same thing. And the only thing difference now is they've gained more territory. They've gained more territory. And so then now they're talking about taking 5 territories. Oh, no. They're talking about doubling the territory from 4 to 8 territories. So, and they have not stopped marching. They have a summer offensive that is so nasty and wicked. That is so nasty. They are going to steamroll. Let me show you what they're going to do. Let me show you what Russia's going to do. Do you see that? Hold on. Do you see that right there? You see that right there? That's a steamroller. That's what Russia's going to do. Y'all see that? That's what Russia's going to do. Y'all see that vehicle right there? That's what they're going to do in the summer offensive. They're going to steamroll. They are going to steamroll. Yes, that's what they're going to do. Yes. That's what Russia's planning to do next month. Next month. It's June. June is a week away. So that's what they're planning to do a week away. So Trump is trying to stop that because he signed off on the Earth deal, and he does not want Russia going up to the Dnieper River. They're going to take they're going to all the way up. I want to say they're going to take Kharkiv. They're going to take Odessa. Yeah. They're saying we want 4 more territories. We're going to keep the 4, and we want 4 more if y'all don't goddamn act right. We're going to take 4 more. How about that? We're going to take 4 more. We're going to keep the 4 and take 4 more if you don't act right. So you better take the deal while we got the 4, and we're going to spare the other 4. But I get it. Joker, you're a man of reason and rationality and reality. You understand how things work in your age, and so I get it. But who has all the cards? Who has all the cards? Trump is not sending troops over there because you know why? NATO's not going to send troops over there. They know the real narrative. They know that Putin don't want Ukraine, but they will take Ukraine if necessary. And they will stop right at the goddamn. They will stop right at the goddamn border of goddamn Poland, because they went from talking all that trash to talking about sanctions. They already got sanctions on Russia. Russia say they don't give a damn about sanctions. They're dealing with China. They're dealing with Brazil. They're dealing with goddamn South Africa. They're dealing with North Africa, Burkina Faso, Central Africa. They're dealing with goddamn India. They're dealing with damn Saudi Arabia. Even though Saudi Arabia, they wishy-washy. They deal with us in Russia. They all about money. They don't care. They don't care. Turkey don't care. Don't trust none of these Islamic countries because these Islamic countries are about money at the end of the day. You know why I say that? Because they let a man become a woman to box a woman in the Olympics. That guy came from an Islamic country. So that lets you know they're not as, they're about money. The Islamic countries, they will let a man become a woman or become a transvestite to fight a woman in Italy. The Islamic country did that. So yeah, enough about the Islamic countries. I'm not gonna get into that right now because y'all know I'm not gonna get into the damn Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. I'm not gonna get into that. I want to get into this phone call. And at the end of the day, in this phone call, um, I don't know. Trump, if what I suspect is Trump is going to, um, Jesus Christ, Trump is going to basically tell Ukraine and NATO it is what it is. This is what it is because Ukraine and Ukraine and um, um Ukraine and NATO have no cards. They absolutely have no cards. And yeah, you can goddamn sanction Russia or whatnot. They're going to keep marching. And Trump, at the end of the day, Joker, doesn't want to lose that Earth, um, rare Earth deal. And check this out, Joker. Donald Trump has already gave Putin the insight on that rare Earth deal. But y'all, I don't want that Russia collusion started on my channel. But it is what it is. It is what it is. He done saw basically Trump is like, look, this is just speculation. I'm not saying this is fact. This is just my analysis. Is that Trump was happy. Trump gave Putin the insight on the Earth's rare earths, and Putin was happy with it. Putin's like, yeah, I'll go for that. So I don't know the details, but like I said, Trump and Putin have already came to an agreement. And again, Trump is going with the narrative because the narrative right now by Bill O'Reilly, the mainstream media, by everybody, Ukraine, by everybody, the whole world, is that Putin wants all of Ukraine. So as long as Trump puts that out there, as long as Trump puts that out there that hold on y'all, oh yeah, as long as Trump puts it out there that I'm sorry y'all, Trump's going to put out there that Putin wants all of Ukraine, that had he stopped it. He stopped that from happening. And therefore, Trump is going to look good. He wins. Putin look good because he's going to protect the four territories and keep the four territories. And Trump is going to be like, look, Putin wanted four more territories. And I stopped it. I called Putin and I said, stop it. Stop it. That's what he's going to do. Watch what I tell you. And if I'm right, I know I'm right, everybody here, and I don't want to scare y'all away, y'all, everybody going to donate $5 to me when I call it. What I'm going to say is that in this phone call, Trump's going to come out and do a press conference and say, look, they had the four, but they wanted to take 8. And I stopped it. I stopped it from taking all of Ukraine. Watch what I tell you. Trump doesn't want to have to send troops to fight. Hell no, Joker, for BS that Democrat and Ukraine and NATO think they can do it. Man, Trump ain't going for that. Trump is not going for that. And I think NATO is starting to understand that. That's why, Joker, NATO switched their tune and started talking about, we're gonna sanction Putin, we're gonna sanction, and only people who don't know think that's actually gonna hurt Putin. People who don't know, like people actually believe, they actually believe that Russia's hurting right now. They don't understand that Russia's economy is building up. Their inflation's going down and all that. But hey, let them believe what they want to believe, Joker, because this helps Trump. So being that, I'm MAGA, cool, because, I do want to see Trump on Mount Rushmore. So let them roll with it. Let them roll with, Putin wants all of Ukraine, and Trump stopped that from happening. Let that be the narrative. Yeah, let's go with it. Let's go with it. I don't have no problem with it, Joker. I have no problem with everybody believing, because you know how I've always said this, Joker, that Putin doesn't want all of Ukraine, but as long as they believe that, and Trump said, well, I stopped it from happening, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. So this phone call today should be Trump saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to let, because remember, it's going to be 2 phone calls today, one to Putin and one to goddamn NATO and Zelensky. Trump's going to say, take the deal. Joker said, it has not hurt Russia as they still have the same stuff we have here. Facts. Facts. The only thing that they did to Russia was seize their assets as far as like their bank accounts in Europe. But man, Russia's like, yeah, well, we expect that. You know what I'm saying? So, and Russia's not going to do any reparations for Ukraine either, because they're screaming about reparations that, Russia should pay this and that and the other. So they're just going to keep whatever assets they seize. But Russia's not paying anything else out of pocket. Believe that. Ain't nothing else happening with that. So the phone call today is going to be very beneficial for us and Russia. Not so much for Ukraine, but Ukraine needs to take the deal before Russia takes more territory, because they are prepared to take 4 more territories in the summer. And they're taking territories like it ain't nothing. They are steamrolling like it ain't nothing. Like what normally takes them months to do, they're doing within weeks. They're doing within weeks. They are steamrolling them. So, because after that curse thing, Putin put on his fatigues. He's like, no, we can't get this thing up, man. We're not playing with. Let me show damn Zelensky in Ukraine. We're not playing. We're not playing. We are not playing. We are not doing no ceasefire, and this thing is going to end the way we want it to end. That's it. So, Trump has already put out the narrative that Putin wants all of Ukraine, and that he's going to stop Putin from taking all of Ukraine. But they will keep the territories that they have. And that's why Trump said, peep this, Joker, that's why Trump said, well, Russia doesn't want that little sliver of land. So he let you know that's just a little sliver of land, which is a lot. But Trump put it out there to make it seem like he's going to put it out there that that little sliver of land, don't worry about it. Don't worry about, well, they want to take Odessa if they don't take the deal. But Crimea, Luhansk, Donetsk, Bakhmut, Zaporozhye, Trump is saying that's a little sliver of land. So Russia's going to keep that little sliver of land. Trump is a genius. Trump is a genius because you got to listen to that interview again where he talks about Russia wants all of Ukraine. They want all of Ukraine, and they're not going to take all of Ukraine. Keep the wording. It's a New York 3-card money that he's doing, and it is what it is because Trump realizes he can't change the narrative of Putin wants to take all of Ukraine. So people believe that. So as long as people believe that, Trump is going to play on that, and that's going to help Trump look good. So yeah, that phone call, I'm excited. There's not going to be no funny business going on, Joker, because Zelensky's not involved in it. Well, he's not involved in the first phone call. He'll be part of the second phone call, but guess what's going to happen? Trump's going to say, take the deal. Take the deal. You have no cards. Take the deal. That's what Trump's going to tell it. You take the deal, Zelensky. You have no cards. Take the deal. Either you take it or they're going to take 4 more territories. You take the deal, Zelensky. You take the deal. We have no more for the discussion. You take the deal. That's what he's going to say. In fact, when he signed the, now remember, Joker, when he signed the Earth's deal, Trump put some clauses in there. There's some clauses in there. So Trump is going to remind Zelensky, go over the contract that you signed. What does it say there? What does it say there? That's right. I have all the cards. You owe us, Zelensky. You owe us, Zelensky. And so, therefore, you don't. Listen here, Zelensky. You signed the deal. Look at the clause. You have no cards. You have no cards. So Joker says Ukraine cut creamy people off before 2014, before the war started. Right. Well, not only did that, they cut off the people of Donetsk and Luhansk too. They were bombing them. They were bombing the hell out of them people, man. They were bombing the people in the Donbass. They never bombed the people in Crimea because the Crimean people, they said, we don't want no part of Ukraine no more. We want to be our own independent republic. So, man, Joker, man, I got to get you on the show, bro. Or you probably at work, so you probably can't get on the show, man. But yeah, you know your stuff, bro. And that's why I appreciate all my subscribers, man. Y'all are the smartest people on YouTube. You guys are the smartest, man, because y'all don't get fooled by the 3-card Monties out here. You know? And I will say this, a lot of people, not saying y'all, but I got fooled by Bill O'Reilly. Because Bill O'Reilly is an old Irishman, and he could talk that shit. Bill O'Reilly can talk that shit, but it got exposed. He exposed himself when he was saying that we should sanction Putin because he refused to meet with Zelensky. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. We have delegation teams. So I looked at Bill O'Reilly. I'm like, Bill, really? Really, Bill? Bill. And I got the same name as Bill because, you know, my dad is a Bill. He's a William, Bill. So I was just like, Bill O'Reilly. You know, because I got Irish blood too, man. I got Irish, descendants. That's a whole nother video. Anybody from Jamaica, descendants, which a lot of Americans have Irish blood, and a lot of people from the South have Irish blood. A lot of African Americans from the North have Irish blood, so we won't get into that. We won't get into the Irish blood lineage. Just like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a Native American. Who knew that Marjorie Taylor Greene was Native American? There's certain features she has that y'all, I won't get into that, but yeah, she's Native American. Y'all heard it here first. Me, oh, you knew she was a Native American? Joker, come on now. See, this is why I say my audience are the smartest people. Are you bullshitting me, Joker? You knew she's a Native American. I'm going to take your word for it because, I mean, it is obvious, but a lot of people get thrown off by the blonde hair, blue eyes. But as you know, Joker, I think you're in Pennsylvania. You got a lot of Native Americans with blonde hair and blue eyes, so that throws a lot of people off. But yeah, she's Native American, man. Cheekbones. Okay. But hey, what's her name? Said the same thing. What's her name? Senator, what's her name? Pocahontas. She said she had got high cheekbones too. What's her damn name? And she might be. You know what? I know we all make fun of. What's her damn name? What's that senator's name, man? They said she was Native American. Trump makes fun of her all the time, Joker. Yeah, but no, Marjorie Taylor Greene is definitely Native. I mean, she might be 100%. Because when I look at her, I'm like, because when I see her at the Rome, I seen her up in the Rome Trump rally. It's, you know what, I don't want to be stereotyping Native Americans, but a lot of them are very short. and they're very stocky, short and stocky, and be very beautiful woman, but yeah, she's very short in real life. So, but yeah, but I would say yes, she's Native American. Yeah, basically she's Native American. A lot of people think she's Caucasian. She's Native American. So, anywho, shout out to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I will be voting for her when she runs for the Georgia Senate. But yeah, she's Native American all the way. But uh, Pocahontas says she was Native American too. But what was her damn name? I mean, she might be. She might have a touch of it. So I won't take that away from her. But they clowned her. They called her Pocahontas. What is her name, Joker? Um, what is her name? Damn, what's her name? Oh man, I forgot her damn name, man. You know what I'm talking about, Joker? Come on, help me out. The one they call Pocahontas, man. Who said she had high cheekbones? What was her damn name, man? What's her damn name? I forgot her name, bro. A lot of people. Okay, so a lot of people don't know about what Ukraine started with their own people and get ready for work. Oh, you got to get ready for work. Okay, all right, man. I see you, Joker, man. Yeah, I'm about to get going myself, man. I gotta get ready, and but y'all, yeah, the call is gonna be at 10 o'clock. It'll probably take me a minute to do a response video. I might do one tonight from the house. Um, y'all stay tuned because I'll probably do another video from the house, or just depending on how fast this whole thing goes down. I don't know if we're going to get a response immediately, but Trump is going to pretty much tell NATO, this is my prediction, and this is what I'm hoping too. Tell them, NATO, and tell Zelensky, yo, take the deal. And I hope, well, they ain't got no choice but to take the deal. If Trump says take the deal, they got to take the deal. It is what it is. So, with that being said, man, let me give a shout out to, hold on. Uh-oh. There we go. Shout out to Joker. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to For Patriots. That's Tim. And shout out, man. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for the likes. Like I said, I will do an evening show today in response to the phone call. Hopefully well, I ain't gonna say the call is gonna go smooth. Well, it might go smooth. I don't know. It might go smooth. It might not. But either way, I will report on it, and I will be back here around either driving home or I'll be at home, one of the two. So I probably prefer to do it at home. Now I got to cut the grass, so I'll probably do it on my way home because I got to cut the grass. It rained. I think they called for more rain, but I got to cut the grass anyway. So I'm out, y'all.